Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm looking as Monster, and today we're going to be talking about Star Wars The Black Series and whether or not they actually need to make more original trilogy figures. And we will get into that more later in the video, but real quick, if you would go down, hit that like button, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It does really help out a lot, and we are so close to 3,000 subscribers. We're like 20 subs away, which is amazing. So if you're not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And we're also doing a giveaway at 5,000 subscribers. We're giving away an ARC Trooper Echo. I'll throw up a photo right now if you guys do want to see it. But you actually do have to be subscribed to enter in the giveaway, so make sure you hit the sub button and on to the video. So the other day I was on Instagram, and an Instagram account put in their story like, yes or no, do we need original trilogy figures anymore? And so I actually did answer it. I'll throw up the little screenshot I took. I'm not exactly sure the Instagram account, but I'll definitely throw up a photo of their account here so you guys know. Go follow them. I'll definitely link them in the description as well. But I definitely thought long and hard about this question, and enough for me to make a video about it because really, do we need more original trilogy figures? And when I say original trilogy figures, I strictly mean the first, or episode 4, 5, and 6. I almost said the first three. Episode 4, 5, and 6, that was what I mean by that. So, like, Mandalorian and some of those new, like, TV shows don't really count as original trilogy, at least what I'm talking about right now. And the main reason this question comes up is if I ever see, like, figures in stores peg warming, they're normally original trilogy figures, and it's very annoying. I'm trying to look for new figures, and all I see is 40th anniversary Hans and Leia's and Lando's, and it's just very frustrating because, I want to see some of these new figures, and that's all I can find stocking the shelves. And, again, original trilogy is my favorite trilogy. It's amazing. I love the movies so much, and I do think they still have to make them, but it is no doubt that these figures definitely warm the shelves quite a bit, and they don't sell out very often, which does kind of suck. But I will give the fact that, like, Imperials and, like, Darth Vader, villains sell, and that's because they're awesome. Same with army builders like Stormtroopers and Imperials. All those sell out pretty well, and I'm glad about that because they're awesome figures. It comes down to more like original trilogy heroes like Luke, Han, Leia, Lando. All those figures tend to peg warm quite a bit. Happened with the 40th anniversary Lucasfilm, or the 40th anniversary New Hope wave. Happened with the 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back wave, and my guess is that it's going to happen for the Return of the Jedi wave as well. And they just peg shelves quite a bit, and really it comes down to, do we need these, yes or no? And another huge example of these figures peg warming is the Archive Wave 4 with Hoth Han and Hoth Luke. These guys are in every store imaginable, and they just don't seem to sell out. I do have Luke, and he's alright figure, and Han, I actually have one, like a different version of it. It's not the archive one, but, I think the biggest problem is Hasbro originally made these original trilogy figures back in the beginning of the line, back when the Black Series first started, and all of these are old sculpts. They're like old, really bad articulation, bad face sculpts, and they just don't live up to today's Black Series standards, and Hasbro just kind of refuses to remake or make new molds for these stuff. Some of them they do. I do give them that. A good example of this is the Endor Leia. Pretty good figure. Does have a new body, everything like that. It is a new figure from the most part, and it has updated articulation like it should. But from that other wave, Luke and Han are just reuses of the older figures with some different, like, cloth pieces put on top. And like I said, that's the problem with some of these original trilogy figures, is Hasbro refuses to reuse, or to make new molds for these figures. They only use reused molds. And like I said, another huge example of this is the Power of the Force wave. It's actually a really cool wave. I definitely wanted to pick up a few of those, and I actually just ended up passing. But Greedo, great re-release. Definitely an original trilogy figure that I'm happy that they made. But they also threw in Luke and Han, which are not great figures. Articulation is poor, and those faces, they did update with photoreal, which I do give them that. That looks great. But the problem is these are on those older face sculpts, which just don't look like the actors as much as they should. And, you can put photoreal on that as much as you want, but it just doesn't turn out the same way. And I just don't know what else to tell you because, like, they keep just reusing these figures, and until they start making brand new molds for these, there's just no really point of buying these new figures. But I do say it, they should make new molds, but they actually just made the brand new molds for Lando, for the General Lando from Episode 6, which I'm assuming they're going to reuse for 2023 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. And like I said, they're putting 2 of these guys in a wave, so 2 out of the 8 figures in the box will be Lando's, and I still guarantee this guy's going to peg warm because Episode 5 Lando is still peg warmed, and you can still find him in stores on clearance, and people are still not buying him. And one, they just totally overproduced the 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back wave, which I don't blame them for because it's still an awesome wave. I still love those figures, but yeah, I guarantee you that that Lando is still gonna peg warm, and definitely gonna try picking one up if I can find him in stores. But I guarantee you he will peg. You know, even the Skiffguard Lando, which is a great figure, definitely one of my favorite Landos. You can still find him on sale for like $8 or $9, $10 maybe at the most. Like he's a pretty cheap figure, even though one of the best Landos ever. And you know, the Jabba's Palace, the skiff, everything like that is a super popular scene from Return of the Jedi that people like making dioramas for and buying figures for. And this Lando still peg warm. So you know, it's one of those things. It's just hard to defend the OT in this one. And that actually brings up a great question. What about the Return of the Jedi 40th Anniversary wave, which will come out in 2023? What figures are they going to put in that to ensure that they don't pegworm? I think you got to put in some of those main characters, but you know, are they still going to pegworm like the New Hope wave and the Empire Strikes Back wave? And honestly, I'm going to say no. Of course, I think Lando and Admiral Akbar and some of those figures are going to peg warm, and they're still going to do them because they're newer figures with new articulation that I feel like they specifically made for the reuse, kind of. But what figures could they put in that would not peg warm? And honestly, I could list off a ton right now. Jedi Knight Luke, super popular, and it's definitely going up in value. Jabba the Hutt, which you're not going to be able to put on a card back, but which is still super expensive on the aftermarket. Boushh Leia and Slave Leia both are super old figures and both need just brand new molds altogether. Don't repack them, make them brand new, because they definitely need that update. And I know Hasbro's probably not going to do Slave Leia, but honestly, there is hope that they would, because they did include her in the Archive Wave 3 fan vote, and if they said like they wouldn't make her at all, they wouldn't have included her in the fan vote, because she actually came second in the fan vote. So if that won, they would have had to make her, which means I guarantee you there is hope for her. If for all the Return of the Jedi fans, I guarantee you there is hope that we could get a Slave Leia. But another one, Boba Fett. He's amazing. Just repack the figure. Don't throw in all the deluxe accessories. He's gonna sell like hotcakes. Fortuna, which they were actually is revealed for the pipeline later in, I believe, 2021 or 2022. We should be getting a Bib Fortuna and a great re-release. And then I'm just gonna go a little bit quicker here. You got to give Emperor Royal Guards, the Emperor, Darth Vader, a Scout Trooper, maybe one of like the General, like AT-AT Walker kind of dudes. I don't know. Chewbacca. I don't think he's gonna pegworm as much as some of the other figures, but I still think he could pegworm. And just one last one would be Hasbro. They're gonna find a way to put like Force Ghost Yoda and Obi-Wan in this, and which I'd be alright with because both of them were exclusives, even though they still are very cheap on the aftermarket. But if they're gonna do that, instead of doing those two, please do a Force Ghost Hayden Christensen for Anakin Skywalker. That'd be amazing. I'd definitely buy one of those. Please make that. So overall, getting down to the point, should they keep on making original trilogy figures? I'm gonna say yes, but only the ones that like the fans want that you haven't made in a long time. Stop re-releasing the figures in the Power of the Force waves and stuff like that have poor articulation and poor face sculpts. Start releasing figures that haven't been made before. Throw in some of those background characters, kind of like they did in the Vintage Collection. You know, give us a Weequay and some more background characters that we just don't have yet in the Black Series, instead of remaking some of those heroes. And of course, keep releasing Imperial like stormtroopers and villains, because people are going to buy Darth Vader, people are going to buy the Emperor, and people are going to buy stormtroopers because stormtroopers are awesome and they're army builders. Army builders always sell out. So you know, if they're going to keep on doing them, do the figures that people want or ones that we don't have, rather than keep on making like re-releases of Han, Luke, and Leia. And then that brings me to another question: what figures should they focus on rather than original trilogy? That comes down to definitely not the new trilogy, because those peg shelves for like literally longer than a millennial. It was so long you could not find any other figures besides new trilogy figures for the longest time, and it sucked. Go prequel trilogies and other new medias like The Mandalorian, The Clone Wars, the prequel movies, Star Wars Rebels, stuff like that. You know, the more relevant, I guess, forms of Star Wars media, and that would be great. There are 150,000 different clones you could do in the Black Series, and they would sell out faster. then you can say mashed potatoes. For the entire movie of Phantom Menace, we have like 3 or 4 figures. For Attack of the Clones, we have like 3 or 4 figures. Revenge of the Sith, we do have some more figures than just 3 or 4, but there are just horrible old sculpts like Anakin, which did get an archive release, and Obi-Wan, which is getting an archive release, are awful sculpts, and they need brand new figures, which would be a great re-release in the future. And even then, there are still a ton of Revenge of the Sith characters that we don't have that would be great in figure form. All I'm saying is, for the last like 7 or 8 years now that the Black Series has been a thing, all they've really focused on is original trilogy and the new trilogy, and a few prequel and other media characters here and there, and they need to start pumping those out because that's what's, I guess, relevant in the media right now. But the biggest problem is when they do those figures, they make them exclusive and really hard to get, but that's a story for another time. So if you did enjoy, that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next one.